They still got their things. They still been dealing with. They come before Israel even existed as a people. They was there. His brother is. Do you know that what's called was E1B1A? Do you know? Do y'all know that man what's his name? Ramses the third was E1B1A. He's not Semitic at all. You know what I'm saying? This is just pure foolishness that this brother is talking about. We can look at the E1B1A people today, and then when you look at E1B1B, they don't look like us. These people they don't look nothing like us. They look like Albert Einstein and all these other people. The Tufians ain't looking like Dante Forson. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
So
at Second Exodus. All right, go ahead. Hold on. Now I want to respond to that Second Exodus.
Yes.
Berean asked the brother,
yes.
Yo, hold on. Mark, I want to make sure to ask this brother right here, Second Exodus is talking, right? Berean asked the brother who just spoke, did he know that blacks in America were not yeah, a lot of people say that does not 400 years. Some people say it's only 200 and change. How can where y'all coming from with that? I've heard that multiple believers ask that. How y'all get to that 400 and that E1, and you could address what G-Con's saying about that whole thing is being used wrong. A lot of people have been telling me that, but they haven't been according to, let me see. Hold on. Let me read that. You see the screen? According to Abu, E1B. Abu, jump on here. E1B1B.
Yeah.
Check your channel. Give me that. Put that link in here, Abu.
I would love to address it.
Go ahead. Yeah, you got the floor.
I would love to address that.
You got the floor. Yeah,
now,
go ahead.
In 1619, let's start here. There was a Portuguese slave ship known as João Bautista, which is John the Baptist. It went down to Angola and Congo, and they said that it took about 20 and odd Negroes. It was about actually 38, 37, 38. This is in 1619.
Okay.
The two tribes that they took on there were Mabambo Jews, or Luango Jews from Angola, and the Bakongo. The Jews from Angola are descendants of Sephardic Jews that came from Sao Tome in 1484 when they left the island of Sao Tome.
Okay.
And the Jews from Sao Tome originally came from Spain and Portugal from King John II when he expelled all the Jews to the island. And they're all the descendants of there. As a matter of fact, you can look at the haplogroup of all the descendants of the Sephardic Jews on Sao Tome, and they all have E1B1A, and about 20% have about R1A or R1B. I can't remember. But these Jews, these Sephardic Jews, who, and we know that Sephardic Jews were exiled from Babylon by King Nebuchadnezzar from Jerusalem, which are Judeans, right? So we know that these Jews from Angola were exiled on the slave ship going to Mexico. But then the British pirate ship, the White Lion. Well, there's a book called there's a book by Alan H. Godbey, The 10 Tribes, a Myth. And he was the president of, I believe, Duke University, 1930.
Okay.
And he died in 1948. And he described exactly what the Luango Jews look like. So you can look on his page. There's a free PDF, or you can go to archive.org and you can look up the book, The 10 Tribes of Myth by Alan H. Godbey. And there he will describe what Semitic features look like, and you will see what the Luango Jews look like. But remember, we're not following physical features. We're following haplogroups. You can't change your genetics. You can change your features. You can change the language that you speak. You can change your culture. You can change your religion, but you can't change your genetics. So the Luango Jews were taken on that slave ship, the Portuguese slave ship, John the Baptist. They were taken to Mexico. It was intercepted by the White Lion and the Treasurer. These are British pirate ships. These British pirate ships then took these Mabambo Jews or Luango Jews and Bakongo, and they took them to Point Comfort in Virginia in 1619. And this is the very beginning of slavery in the United States. Before it became the United States, this was the institution of slavery in the 13 colonies that began the financial institution of starting up the entire country.
Okay, go ahead. I'm trying to put this thing on my phone. He just sent. I just got sent something. Good. Hold on. Let me go back here.
Yeah, LeBron, I got you.
Okay. Now to address his. I think he mentioned something about not the Amorites. What was his concern about?
You said something pertaining to. You was like, it says no that they should go into the land. I mean, you said talking about the tongue. They will come to a nation that does not speak in the same tongue as them. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So what I was saying was I was just simply describing Egypt being the house of bondage. And as far as the people who were fierce coming from, they didn't know their language, you know, they were going to be taken into exile. I never said that they were the British or anybody else. I was just simply saying that there was a nation that came
What is
to take them
Egypt?
away
You said
captive.
Egypt. You said Egypt, or
Egypt,
the land Egypt, physical Egypt, or what?
I was just simply,
No,
you
that's what
know,
I'm asking you.
exegeting
No,
the.
that's what I'm asking you. When you say
Mhm.
when you say Egypt, right? Are you talking? And you said the house of bondage. Are you talking about the land of Egypt, or what are you talking about?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to clip a video.
The I have to go back and look at it again in the verse.
Right.
But I was simply saying,
Right. But why
he
did you just
brought you
say
up
what you
out
just
of the
said? That's
house
what
of
I'm
Egypt.
asking. That's what I'm
Hold
asking.
on.
What made
I'm
you just
sorry.
say
Hold
what
on
you
a
just
second.
said?
Abu, what minute marker I'm going up to in this video, Dante? Abu, I got your video queued up about Dante DNA from a month ago. What minute marker should I go up to in this video? It's a 15-minute video. Where should I go on that? Or Dante, you or Boo, tell me. Go ahead, y'all.
Right.
Or whoever's talking.
You kind of said something. I'm asking you because you kind of
Hmm.
fast talking me. You kind of said something about the house of bondage. You said Egypt is the house of bondage, right?
Correct.
Okay,
That's correct.
so anytime, let me help you out of something, right? If you go to the Blue Letter Bible, right, and you type in the house of bondage, every time you type in the house, every time it pulls up the house of bondage, guess what it's going to say? It's going to refer to the land of Egypt as the house of bondage. So any Israelite that's out there telling you basically that Egypt means the house of bondage, they have to pertain to, it has to be pertaining to the land just as well. So you should be telling people that America is Egypt, that this is the second Egypt, that this is the house of bondage. That's not what that's talking about. When you go and you pull it up in the text, it's telling you it all the time that Egypt, the land of Egypt, is the house of bondage. And I'm trying to figure out why y'all act like people don't know how to read, man, like we don't know how to
Well,
comprehend and stuff like
let,
that.
let me respond to that. I personally never said that it was
Well, you
America
was trying to
or
say that.
Britain.
That's what you was just trying to say.
Oh, no. If let me correct myself. If there was any miscommunication, all I'm simply saying is that Egypt is also followed as the house of bondage in that text. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so
As
I just
far
want to make it clear. We've heard what you said before, bro. When y'all say that, so but once again, using Deuteronomy 28 to say that you're an Israelite, that's not gonna work. You'll have to come with something a little bit more heavier than that, because clearly
well,
the
per
house of bondage there is the land of Egypt. And the second thing is this is when he says that he's going to bring them into a nation, another tongue. I just read you in Jeremiah chapter 5 and 15, where it says who that nation is. It's the Assyrians and the Babylonians. That's who it is. They didn't understand their tongue. It was a nation from away, and you even had to have some of the people that had to come and speak to them just so they can understand them people's tongues. You know what I'm saying? And
well,
so yeah,
well,
man.
Assyrian is another way of saying Aramean, and they did speak. As a matter of fact, Jesus and the disciples spoke Aramaic, which is why I was telling
Now
people
in the
that
time of
the New
Babel,
Testament.
listen, brother, in the time of what's called, they did not understand Aramaic. I'm gonna tell you why I say that. In the time of when Nebuchadnezzar came, Nebuchadnezzar and them came, and he was speaking something different. Because you know how I know he was speaking something different? because right there in Jeremiah 5:15, it actually says that he was for to bring a nation against them whose tongue that they didn't understand. So is God lying when he said that, or did they understand the tongue of the Chaldeans? Answer that. Did God lie when he said, let me read that scripture to you again real quick so we could be on the same page at least. You know what I'm saying?
Hold
Look
on a
what it
minute.
says.
Abu, where
It's
am I
Jeremiah.
going to in this video? Dante, what part am I going to in this video? Go ahead. Hold on a second. I want to go ahead and I want to play something before because they say that Abu would say something different from you in this video right here, G-Con. It's on. Let me see if I could pull this up here.
If anybody wants to, they can also pull up Natufians.
Let me bring the scripture out real quick for you. Let me bring the scripture out real quick for you. It says, I will bring a nation upon you from afar, O house of Israel, said the Lord. It is a mighty nation. It is an ancient nation, a nation whose language thou knowest not. So in this section, Jeremiah 5:15.
E-L29. We're going to talk about that. So this is where I take issue with people that say like they just stick with the J1 concept. Because I'll debate anybody. Like I can make an equal argument for J1, R1B, and E all day. I can make an equal argument for all three of them. They got to get ruled out of this junction.
You know, it's interesting. I heard something third hand. I didn't see it directly, but again, third hand, emphasis on third hand, so I could be wrong here. But I heard that Dante's haplogroup is E1B1B.
Yes, sir.
That's interesting because that
I would be the second hand on that, putting that out everywhere at this juncture, because I keep trying to tell people that's a kill shot for people who keep trying to make this J1 argument.
Well, E1B1B has a very strong case as well. I don't think J is plausible. I think J is, because J is found so widespread amongst. Now, this doesn't prove that J is Jacob's haplogroup, but it is interesting how widespread it is amongst different Semitic groups. But the thing is, once you go down that road, E1B1B is also like everywhere as well. It's amongst everything from Semitic Ethiopians. I mean, by Semitic, I mean Ethiopians who speak Semitic languages, Arabs, even Ashkenazi Jews. For it to be that widespread, it seems to imply that it's been amongst Semitic populations since antiquity. And so that's fascinating because
even the Cochin Jews have the E1B1B.
Fascinating.
So wait a minute. This can't be so. So wait a minute, G-Con. I got to keep going, Abu? G-Con. So wait a minute. So what he's saying? Dante DNA.
Hey, Dante is not E1B1. No, Dante is not E1B1B. I have his actual. Dante is E1B1A. I don't know where they got that from. Dante, is he? I mean, I can pull it up. Dante showed his DNA, and it was E1B1A. I don't know why they said E1B1B. I don't know where they got that from.
Hold on, I gotta go. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Let me just go back a minute on here on this here.
Interesting how widespread it is amongst different Semitic groups. But the thing is, once you go down that road, E1B1B is also like everywhere as well. It's amongst everything from Semitic Ethiopians.
All right, so this video, so they got it wrong. That what you saying?
Yeah, when they say E1B1B, Dante Fortune is E1B1A. I'm going to pull it up, matter of fact, because I screenshotted it. Dante has no markers that trace back to the Levant area. Not at all. You know what I'm saying? He has no markers that trace back to that, no migrational markers. I even circled it and showed it. And he's everywhere but from this area right here. That's impossible.
Read, Abu, let me say, Abu. Read the screen. Second exit, you, I don't know, G-Con driver, read this screen. Is the Boo talking crazy or not right now on the screen?
It says Dante is closely related paternally to some Natufians. His haplogroup is EL29, a subclad of E1B1B. That's correct.
Hey, I'm finna pull it up right now.
Natufians. Natufians are the first the Natufians are the first Semitic people recorded from the Judean Natuf Mountains, and their migration pattern started down into Northeast Africa. E1B1B is a sister clade of E1B1. E1B1 became E1B1A. You see, it's only apparent. So E1B1 was a Natufian haplotype group, and E1B1B was also present with the Natufians. E1B1 became E1B1A. And E1B1A migrated throughout from Northeast Africa down into West Central Africa.
The 16-second mark? Is it you sure you want the 16-second mark? All right, good. I don't know if he write the 16-second.
So, all right, so basically what they're saying is that
all right, no, I'm trying to see what G-Con talking about here. Go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead. G-Con, you there? 16-second, this is it right here.
Pull it up right now, because I got it. Go ahead, pull it up.
All right, anybody else while she's doing this, and then I'm going, I gotta catch that gas station across the street. I'm going down right across that highway.
Watch this, now watch this. I'm gonna pull this up, some stuff up. Cause see what he tried to do is he tried to play with Jet Match and thought he was doing something. But I'm gonna show
this is a boo. This ain't Don, or you saying that a boo? All right, come on. So you saying Dante fooled the boo in them now?
Yeah, I don't think that Abu actually seen Dante's forces. What's called, because I got a picture of because he posted it. I'm saying
Abu, I'm gonna hit you a messenger.
Yeah, I'm for the post because I got it because we was all talking about it basically. Hold on for a minute.
Well, can I speaking of Jet Match, you can also go to Punt or Ethiohelix calculator because I also pulled that up, and I want you all to take a look. For those who've done Jet Match, you can go to the Reuters article, and it talks about North African Jew lineage. Those North African Jews have been admixed from Sephardic Jews during the expulsion in 1492. If you have in your secondary population, if you have Morocco, Libya, Tunisia, and Algeria in your DNA, then you are related to the Sephardic Jews from North Africa. I personally have Berbers, Mozabite, Egyptian, Ethiopian Jews, North African Jews, Algerian, Morocco Jews, North and South, Tunisia. And so it has nothing to do with what you look like. You want to follow the genetic markers and see exactly who you match up with.
All right, hold on a second.
Ethiohelix, you can look at Ethiohelix calculator. And you can match up with those populations. If you match up, then you have North African Jewish ancestry.
All right, here, hold on a second. Come on, do me a favor. Just explain it right now. Just explain it right now for me. Oh, Dante is in there. Go ahead, Boo.
Forgive me, I won't be on long. I have to jump off very soon. I'm with family.
I'm going to.
But yeah, no, it wasn't. I myself am skeptical of a lot of the appeals to Jed Match, but this was not based on Jed Match. It was based on what he showed from 23andMe. And this isn't a general appeal to just like the E haplogroup, like some people do. His haplogroup, according to 23andMe, is EL29, and that's a subclade of E1B1B, and more specifically, it's a subclade of EM34. So, which is a more specific, it's something that was found amongst at least 2 of the Natufian samples. That's all. So, it is fair to say that at least Dante, I'm not saying this about everybody, at least Dante is closely related, relatively closely related paternally to
the brown skinned people.
Well, I don't know what they look like. They might have looked exactly like him, or maybe they look different. But as Second Exodus said, it's not so much an issue of morphology. It's a question of lineage. So I would also say Dante is closely related, perhaps, to Albert Einstein, as well. So, I'm just saying. I can't stay on long, but I just wanted to clarify that since you gave me the opportunity.
All right. Thank you. All right. No matter of fact, hold on one second. Recon, do you got anything proud of what he said?
No, I'm trying to find it because I got a picture of
it. You still trying to find it, but you keep talking about he a Hamite.
I'm trying to find it because I made
that Hamite DNA, yes or no? Is that Hamite DNA, yes or no? Because
I don't look. I want to say this real clear. I don't accuse anyone of being a Hamite. I have no idea who Ham or Shem, what their haplogroup was, so I don't accuse anyone of being a Hamite, and I don't think you can determine that based on morphology. I mean, there could be Hamites who are quote unquote black, and there could be Hamites today who are quote unquote white in terms of their appearance. I don't accuse anyone of being a Hamite or a Semite or anything. I'm just saying that if we're going by paternal lineage, paternally he is more closely related to the Natufians than a lot of other people who might be in the chat today. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
And he also can he also can be Ham for the record, for the majority part, because if you look at some of these brothers, they came up out of the Mesopotamia before they came into these areas that we see today. So E can be Ham. So when they telling you the E is just Semitic, that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? E can be Ham also too. You know what I'm saying? But that's not how do you say it? Because when these so you got somebody got a bad echo, something going on in the back. I don't know who that is. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna pull it up. But yeah, E also can be. That's why I keep telling there is no. So when you say there's a Semitic marker or there's a Jew marker, that's not really that. That's not really what that's talking about. You know what I'm saying? These are different haplogroups we see that migrate to different areas. Whether if they was, because if you look at Canaanites, which come from what's called, they have markers that we see that can be E also too and J too. So these are Hamitic speaking people according to the biblical text. I mean, Hamite people according to the biblical text. So E can be Hamitic. You know what I'm saying? So let's not get it twisted and say that that's not the case, but that is the case. So I'm just showing you that I'm gonna go and show you that E1B1A are most of these people that we see are Hamitic people. You know what I'm saying? Then we see E1B1, that could be Hamitic people just as well as Semitic people speaking too. You know what I'm saying?
All right, hold on. Come on, boy. I know you got to get out of here. You saying closing?
Yeah, I got to run, but I'll say this first. I'm very skeptical of assigning two different macro haplogroups to like a single son of Noah. So I wouldn't say that there are Hamites who are both J and E. Second, I would say that while I don't claim to know the haplogroup of Ham or Shem or any of them, I do think that likely Ham, Shem, and Japheth had the same haplogroup. So, if Shem was J, then I would assume Ham was J and vice versa. But that's a much more complex subject. And that begs a lot of questions that came up when Donla was on.
With the location,
a lot of people want me to talk
being local and all of that stuff.
I'll say this. I know Yeshub is somewhat angry at me. I think I would recommend Yeshub's videos. I don't agree with him on everything, but I think for people who hold to a global flood, he makes an interesting case, and
that's
he's
the
probably
brother.
putting in the
Genesis
most
49 dudes that be making the video.
Yeah,
okay.
Genesis 49ers. He makes a lot of interesting videos. I'm not endorsing everything, and he's not a fan of me, but I think personally he does a lot of interesting work. So I recommend his stuff. But putting all that aside, this wasn't an argument about E1E in general. It was more specifically Dante's haplogroup. Not everybody. Dante is E1B1B. It's a subclade of E1B1B and a subclade of EM34. So to be fair, if we're fair and honest, according to his 23andMe results, he's relatively closely related paternally to the Natufians. To some Natufians. That's all. And forgive me, I got to run.
My goal is not to confuse anybody. I'll make this very simple. There's a big group called haplogroup E. Haplogroup E belonged to the Natufians in Israel. Haplogroup E also had branches called E1B1B and E1B1. E1B1 gave a branch to E1B1A. Haplogroup E from the Natufians are regarded by all scientists, according to the articles we have today, as Proto-Semitic, which means the first Semites. That's all that means. As far as haplogroup I, J, and K, they are known to be associated with Togarmah, or the Turkic peoples. The Turkic people claim descent from Togarmah. So Togarmah is the son of Gomer, and Gomer is the son of Japheth. You can go to Genesis 10, verses 1 through 5 for that reference. So I didn't want to make this very confusing.
Don't say nothing. Second Exodus. G-Con, what's the problem here? What do you think the problem is with the understanding?
Right. So what, like for instance, like I think the problem is that they getting confused. Like Semitic speaking, like are like just because you say somebody's like they say the Canaanites are Semitic, you know what I'm saying? But in reality, you know what I'm saying, they not, you know what I'm saying, they just speak a Semitic language, you know what I'm saying? So they don't so I think the confusion is we getting are these people actual descendants of Shem, you know what I'm saying? Because when you look at scholastically and what the world is saying, they don't believe in Shem, Ham, and Japheth like that. But we do because we dealing with biblical, you know what I'm saying? We dealing with the biblical text. So I think that that's where the confusion is coming in, that because you can see clearly that even these people that is down in this down in what do you Ethiopia, right? That we see that are these limbas, these Jews, they have J markers. So if they have J markers, then people will have to say, well, is these fellas Caucasians just because these markers come up out of the Caucasus Mountains? You know what I'm saying? But that's not really the case. And so we get confused. The language with basic people, they could have migrated from a certain area, but still be Hamitic people. You know what I'm saying? Still be people that are Ham, that come from the son of Ham. And I think that's where the confusion is coming in at right there. Is people is twisting the language with basically the descendancy of where people is coming from. That's gotta be what we dealing with right now, what's happening. Because if you want to say, like, if you got the whole of Africa, which is E1B1A almost, that would be impossible for these people to come from Shem, seeing that this land, this is the land of Ham. And where's the Hamites at? Where these people at? What's their markers? You know what I'm saying? And they'll say A. You know, say this and that, but the whole of Africa is E. And that's what the crazy thing about it, because the majority of Africa is E. Why is that?
All right, that's all right. All right. Anybody else in closing? I don't know, G-Con. This thing, you could think it's one thing and then it turn into another, messing around with
y'all. Brother Berean.
Anybody else in closing? I don't know, G-Con. This thing, you could think it's one thing and then it turn.
Brother Berean.
All right, you got somebody echoing or something on here. I'm just scratching my head. Anybody before I get up out of here? Apostle, you trying to say something? You got to turn your thing down. All right, maybe that was you. Second Exodus, you want to say something before I get out of here?
Yeah, I will quickly respond. It's really easily. Haplogroup for the Hamites. If you want to know if you're a Hamite, look for your paternal haplogroup of A and B. For those who are looking for Japhetic lines, look for any other haplogroup outside of A and B, D and E. Every other haplogroup that descends from C, F, and T, which would be I, H, J, K, L, M, N, Q, all of those haplogroups is Japhetic. They descend from Japheth. And you can know that because there's a certain mutation that takes place only with those haplogroups. So D and E were together, then they split. A and B was together, and then they split. And when did they split? They split around 800 BC. D and E split around, no. D and E split around 800 BC. And haplogroup E split into E1B1B and E1B1A around 500 BC. And one last remark I want to make is that there's a belief of the out of Africa theory, which is inherently racist, because their basis on saying people came out of Africa is linking us to a monkey called Lucy, I believe.
Yes, Dr. Leakey, Marion Lewis Leakey, Central Africa.
That's correct. So if you believe that we came out of Africa, you're believing in a racist belief that Africans evolved from monkeys first, then populated the rest of the world. However, the Bible says that we came and dispersed from the Middle East, what we call the Middle East today, from the Caucasus. And so Africa wasn't known to be inhabited. Sub-Saharan Africa was not inhabited by anyone. And the first inhabitants that were indigenous to Africa were haplogroups A and B. And when we look at scriptures, we can say that this must be the land of Ham. And one other remark about the ancient Egyptians, the indigenous first Egyptians were said to have haplogroup A. That's all I wanted to say about that. All
right, thank you. Oh man, I don't know. Them people say it ain't worth talking to y'all, but when you sit back and start talking, I'm just scratching my head. I'm just scratching my head. All right, y'all. Good night. $BereanTeach. BereanTeach@gmail.com. If y'all want to get in touch with me, this is another eye opener. Good night.